Greetings once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas, and I'd like to welcome you to another video. Today, one of my favorite subjects, Star Trek, we're going to be going to Star Trek First Contact. If you guys remember, that is when the Borg had gone back in time to prevent the human race from achieving the warp drive. Zefram Cochoran, you remember his ship, the Phoenix, which was actually an old nuclear missile. And they attempted to go back in time and destroy that to prevent first contact with the Vulcans. Anyway, today we're going to go to Star Trek First Contact, and what I want to show you guys is the Phoenix itself, Zefram Cochoran's ship. So what we're going to do now is we'll take a look at the instructions and the box. Okay, so when we look at the front of the box, you can see we've got a Borg, and this is from Star Trek First Contact, and this is the Phoenix Warp Drive ship, an all-new ship design from the hit motion picture. It's got the try-me function, and press here to activate warp sounds. The first warp drive spaceship. It's 2 activation starship sounds, 2 buttons, activate thrusters to deploy the pivoting nacelles. And this is by Playmates. The Phoenix warp drive ship deploys the first warp nacelles made by man. And this is stock number 16147. You look at the side of the box, and you can see it shows the stock number, and that will be 16147, and 2 button activated warp ship sounds, activated thruster, and deploy the pivoting nacelles. They're the same on both ends. We got the side of the box, basically is the same thing. So when we go ahead and we look at the back of the box, it's Star Trek First Contact and the first warp drive spaceship. And we've got a little bit of history. The Phoenix warp drive ship, historical spaceship profile. Spaceship, the Phoenix rocket. Inventor, Zefram Cochoran. And the launch date was 2061. Accomplishment, the first warp speed spaceship. The Phoenix rocket was the first Earth spaceship to exceed the speed of light. Its inventor, Zefram Cochoran, designed rudimentary dual nacelles that were the prototype for the Federation starships. The design that is still employed 300 years later. Note that the nacelles pivot into position, a design which has returned in recently launched starships such as the Intrepid-class USS Voyager. The Borg are back. The most lethal threat to humanity's existence has returned with a new starship and a new strategy for conquering Earth. The Federation's defenses fail, and the Terran system is about to be conquered. Faced with assimilation by the Borg, Starfleet turns to Captain Jean-Luc Picard and his crew from the new USS Enterprise NCC 1701E. They stopped the Borg invasion once before, but this time fate is against them. To save Earth, they must boldly go where no one has gone before. And on the bottom, resistance is futile. Collect the entire galaxy of Star Trek movie accessories. And we have the Enterprise NCC 1701E, and I've shown you that. And we've got the Borg ship, the round ship. I've shown you that. The Starfleet phaser. I've shown you one of the phasers from Star Trek The Next Generation. I don't remember if it's that one or not. And you can see they got the parts of the ship or the parts of the model. And you've got the engine nacelles, the cockpit, the sound activation buttons. And on the bottom, you can see these pictures, 2-button activation warp ship sounds. Activate the thrusters to deploy the pivoting nacelles. And again, it shows the stock number 16147. And the paperwork that comes with it, it does have the blueprint. Sadly, this one didn't come with a box, but I will show you a picture of the blueprint, or as close to the blueprint as I can get that came with this model. And looking at the instructions for Star Trek First Contact, it shows you that when you take it out of the box, the nacelles are not attached. To attach the engine nacelles, pull back the primary thruster with care to swing out the nacelle attachment arms. Snap the engine nacelles onto the nacelle attachment arm as shown in diagram A. Push primary thruster back into place and retract the engine nacelles. Looking at diagram C, you can see the buttons. There's one on the left and one on the right. So the button on the left is the warp drive sound, and the engine nacelle engaging is the right button sound. And you can see by diagram C, when you extend the nacelles, the bottom of the thrusters actually extend. To activate the Phoenix Warp Drive ship sounds, press the sound activation button as shown in diagram B to activate the warp drive or engine nacelles engaging sound. To engage engine nacelles, pull back the primary thruster with care to engage the engine nacelles and hear the engine nacelles engaging sound. Push the primary thruster back into place to retract the engine nacelles and hear the engine nacelles retracting sound. And see diagram C. You can see in diagram D as we have the cover. The battery compartment cover is on the back. And the cover with the screwdriver, it's a Phillips screwdriver, and it takes 3 AA alkaline batteries. And this was released in 1996. It also comes with the Star Trek customer reply card. Thank you for buying this quality Playmates product. We truly appreciate your support. If you would be so kind to fill out this card, unfold it, and send it back, you'll be eligible to receive periodic Star Trek merchandise updates and other Playmates surprises. So you can send that back, and that's the paperwork that comes with this ship. All right, let's actually take a look at Zefram Cochoran's ship. Again, this was a nuclear missile. And it's funny, Captain Picard was looking at it mesmerized because he had seen it in his lifetime, but at the Smithsonian Institute, and he wasn't able to touch it. So when they had gone back in time, and he was actually able to see it and touch it in the silo, it was a very moving experience for him. Now, let me show you guys, when it comes to this ship, there's a battery compartment, and there are 2 buttons, one on the left and one on the right. This one didn't come with batteries. So I'm going to show you guys how to put the batteries in. I've shown you the instructions on a diagram, but I'm actually going to show you how to do it. And this is a Phillips screwdriver. There we are. And you can see the compartment where the batteries are going to go. And we're going to use the AAA batteries. I got a package here, so let's put these in. And unfortunately, I don't have any of my Duracell. I'm all out of the Duracell, so we're going to have to use the cheaper brand. There we are. Just like that. Quick little turn of the screw, and then the batteries are installed, just like that. Okay. So you can see it's got the warp drive. Now, this came without the box, unfortunately, but it's already put together. Let's see if it... You can see it's the nacelles coming out. And when they go back in, it should retract. It should be a different sound. just like that. So when you deploy, and retract, and when you engage, well, let's open it back up again. And let's push the buttons. And that's going into warp drive. You remember when it goes into warp drive, Commander Riker and Geordi was actually with Zefram Cochoran, and it was great because when they were launching from Earth and they started to go up into orbit, and Cochoran put on the Steppenwolf, the Magic Carpet Ride. I love that song. That was so cool. Of course, God forbid I put that up, it'll get taken down or blocked because of the copyright infringement. But when it goes up, it goes up into orbit. You can see it extend when she extends. And Zefram Cochoran sees the Enterprise E, the NCC 1701E, and he's just blown away. And you see the back where the battery door is. And again, the buttons in the front, warp. And when you close and open the nacelles, the arms, you get the sound effect as well. And when you open up the nacelles, it actually extends upwards as well. So let's see if the button... So the button doesn't work. So let's see, we open it up. So that's the sound effect that it makes when they open up and retract. And the left button is for when she goes into warp. Again, you can see Zefram Cochoran from the movie, and he's checking his instrument panels, and he's just blown away that he's going into warp drive. And it's funny because Geordi and Commander Riker, they're so used to it, it doesn't really affect them at all. And the Vulcan ship actually see the signature from the warp drive. And I think, actually, this section actually falls away when she's in orbit. This is just to get off the planet Earth and out of the atmosphere. But it's an interesting idea. And like so many of Star Trek's designs, where they've actually come... Think about Star Trek, the original series. And think about the technology now and how close it is to Star Trek. We've got lasers. The iPhone can do just about everything the communicator can do. The computers that we have now, the technology for the medical, it's just, and you could see, couldn't you guys see this design working from NASA? It extends out the nacelles, the warp drive nacelles. Of course, Zefram Cochoran, we do see him in Star Trek, the original series. You guys remember he was with the creature known as the Companion. So, and he ends up, when he lands on a planet, the Companion takes care of him. So he's basically in great health and condition. But the, like I said, we had seen the Companion and Zefram Cochoran in Star Trek, the original series. And so much has been based on the design of this, including the retracting nacelles. Like on the back of the box says, you guys watch the Voyager, and I don't have the Voyager nearby to show you guys, but when she goes into warp, her nacelles go up. And when she comes out of warp, her nacelles go flat again. And that's a design off of this. You can see the Phoenix. Pretty cool that it was a nuclear missile. So they took something that was destructive and they turned it into something to basically save humanity. Because it's this ship right here that the Vulcans see. And once the Vulcans establish first contact, that's basically the birth of humanity's relationship with other solar systems and other life. So this is a really important part of history. And the Borg try to go back in time and destroy it, but they are unsuccessful. But the movie is really cool. This is from Star Trek First Contact. And this is Zefram Cochoran's ship. Now, Zefram Cochoran is quite the character. It's almost like two different people, because in the movie, you know, he liked to drink and he was very carefree and laid back. And from Star Trek, the original series, that Zefram Cochoran seemed a little more conservative and a little more... a little closer to Starfleet regulations than what we saw in the movie. But either way, he is able to launch, and he launches with Commander Riker and Geordi LaForge. And, I mean, can you imagine going in space, or if you're in the International Space Station and you look out the window and you see the USS Enterprise, NCC 1701E, oh, how great would that be? But that's what he had seen. And of course, the Enterprise E dwarfs this ship. This is just like a little basic first step in the evolution of space travel. But this is the Phoenix. And this was a nuclear warhead. This was a weapon that they converted. They put warp drive on it, the warp nacelles. Zefram Cochoran designed the nacelles from warp drive. And because of this ship, humanity was brought into the space community, if you want to say, and the United Federation of Planets was born. But my friends, this is Zefram Cochoran's ship, the Phoenix, the spaceship with the first warp drive engines on it from humanity. And this is from the movie Star Trek First Contact. Incidentally, the movie was directed by Jonathan Frakes. And if you haven't seen it yet, you'll enjoy it. It's a really fun movie. We get all kinds of goodies. We get the Borg. We've got Borg ships. We have the Borg Queen. We have the Enterprise NCC 1701E. Mr. Data gets tempted by the Borg Queen. And it's really a good movie. So my friends, you should check that out. And I wanted to show you Zefram Cochoran's Phoenix. So I thank you so much for watching, my friends. And until my next video, I'll talk to you soon.